What's happening, family? Tonio Da Quiet Storm coming to you with another video. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing great. Having fun, enjoying life, and all that good stuff, and staying safe as well. Cause this COVID is still going around, so continue to be safe, stay safe. But just wanted to come to you today to actually give kind of a reintroduction to who Tonio Da Quiet Storm is. I know it's a lot of people that see my car and they see the word quiet on the side, and the first thing they think about is the car. Like, that car ain't quiet, but they don't also, I ask them to look at the full graphic and just say pretty much, look at the full graphic and you see the storm around it or whatever, which means quiet storm. Well, quiet storm doesn't actually, well, that's one part of the name of it, but quiet storm actually existed before the car did. And I'm actually reintroduce you to actually re-show you my documentary, which shows you why, Tonio Da Quiet Storm existed before the car scene came in. And hopefully it'll explain a lot to you all, but like I said, car is just part of it. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and explain the car part. So the car part is, the first car club that I joined, I had a V6. I had a 3.6 SXT Charger. So, they not loud or whatever. Where the other guys and stuff that had the big V8s and whatnot, and you hear them rumbling and everything. But I was one of the quiet ones in the group as far as my car goes. But hey, I was still driving the Mopar, so either way, it was all good. So that's just one part of the name Tonio Da Quiet Storm. So I'm gonna actually show you the first part of who is Tonio Da Quiet Storm. So without further ado, please
allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
What's going on, family? Tonio Da Quiet Storm coming to you with another video. Hope everybody's doing well out there, continuing to stay safe and all that good stuff. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but I've been trying to get this project together. Hopefully you all enjoy it. Hopefully you will learn something from it, be encouraged from it, get inspired from it, and I just hope it helps anybody out there. Coming to you today, this is actually kind of a life story of myself. So I know pretty much some of you may have been wondering, who is Tonio Da Quiet Storm? Well, today I'm about to let you know how the Quiet Storm developed. And here it goes. Well, young kid born in Raleigh, North Carolina, growing up all my life, going through elementary school, middle school, high school, I actually developed a disease called alopecia. And some of you may not know what alopecia is, so I'm about to educate you on that a little bit. So, definition of alopecia. Alopecia is actually defined in the dictionary as the loss of hair from areas where hair normally grows, partially or complete baldness or loss of hair, which means some people could have it partially, hair in spots, losing hair in spots, or some people can lose all your hair like I did myself. I was probably about maybe 2 years old when my hair started falling out, and pretty much my parents noticed it and they didn't know what was going on. And since I said my parents, I also got them actually letting you know what happened when they first found out. So media team, as they say on that Bush commercial, roll that beautiful bean footage.
I guess I'll start off by saying hello everyone. My name is Sharon Gallen from Raleigh, North Carolina. Today I want to speak on as having a child that had alopecia. And alopecia is it's not actually a male pattern, cause of baldness is also in women and girls as well. But my experience with alopecia is with my son, as he was born with a full head of hair. Thick, pretty, curly, just nice hair. And as he started out as about 6 months old, that as I took care of his hair and it started shedding, and I had no idea of what was going on. And you could just put your hands on it and rub it or whatever, and it kind of just fall off in your hand and what have you. And then sometimes it was just shedding and you couldn't even see it, and the next thing you just see spots. So anyway, after that experience, where we went to a dermatologist to see what was going on, and he was just a baby. And so then the doctor discovered somewhat what was going on, and there's nothing that you can really do with alopecia but treat it. So we went through all the medical procedures of getting treatment, and that wasn't a very good experience, because the treatments consisted of having injections in the scalp, and which I knew that was something very painful, what have you. But we went through the procedures at Duke Medical Center in Durham. And so after the treatments, that as we saw that there wasn't a lot of progression on that, as to it would grow out and eventually shed back off. So then as he grew, and it got thinner and thinner until it got to the point where it was just like a little curly bang across the top, across the front. And So after that, it just, kept progressing into it all just fell off. And it was something that just didn't give a parent a good feeling, because there was nothing that I could do or could be done. And in the beginning, we thought it was a nerve condition stemmed from the loss of my father during that time when he was just 5 months old. And it was just a lot, going on at that time. And as he was just a baby and not knowing what was going on, and we had crowds and stuff at the house, and so that's what we was thinking that came from, just maybe just a little baby and nervous about being around all the people. And after that, and after we discovered what it really was, and he went on as a little boy, where he when he got to kindergarten, he didn't really realize what was going on until he really got to kindergarten, and he had to experience going to school with other little kids that didn't know what was going on. And so at that time, kids would, pick on him and stuff, and about, not having any hair. And he did wear that little cap to school, and I had a talk with the teacher, and to let her know that although they really didn't want the kids to be wearing hats or whatever in class, but as he felt better or had more confidence with the hat, that he was able to wear it. And after that, it was just, I was trying everything else to keep him from being that child that, people would look at as it's like different, because they didn't, know what was really the issue. And I had went to this hair loss center, and so they had suggested that to do like a hair implant, as I say, but I didn't know about that. And as being a young child, I didn't want to experience that with him. So we did have a hairpiece made as a haircut, and we did use that for quite some time until he grew up in to get older in school, between middle school, high school, and then at high school level, he just decided he just wasn't going to do it anymore. So then I felt like he could stand on his own, and which I think he did. Although I didn't know everything what was going on, and he was that quiet kind that didn't really speak out up into the latter years that I really found out what he was feeling. But I did all that I knew to do and all that I could do. And a lot of times when people, looked on or spoke out or whatever, I was very angry, upset. I would really speak out and was pretty much ready to light up. And a lot of time I would really just lash out at people when this, came about. But as I look back on it today, it's really an experience for people to really know about it and know that it's no control that anyone had. And I found out that it's a hereditary thing within the family. And it was brought to my attention that it was on his father's side, but which I didn't know, anything about it. But which I did know that a cousin on his father's side, was bald, but I didn't know why until after the experience with my own child. And come to find out that his grandfather's sister, she had the same thing, as a woman. So it can be inherited as well as just a generic hair loss disease. There's really just not a cure. But in time, a lot of times, the hair, it grows, and it grows back just like a baby. And then the next thing you know, you don't even know when it sheds off, and it just sheds. And it's gone again. But now I think as he's gotten grown and older, that I don't even know whether whether he experienced the growth of and shedding or what have you. But it's just an experience for people to know about alopecia. And I do recommend anyone to read, research, or what have you, alopecia, because, I know in girls, boys, what have you, be young, it's just a different feeling. And knowing that you don't have any hair and everybody else got hair, but now in these days, you don't know whether people have alopecia or not, because now the men and the women is just cutting all the hair off, just shaving it off as bald. So, at this day and time in 2021, it's a different experience from back in 1978 and 79 in the 80s. So, for me, I just say, be mindful of people that you come across and you don't know what their situation is. Treat people the way you would have them to treat you. That's it for me.
Well, myself, my experience with him growing up, as he was a baby, like she said, that she had a nice head of hair, and as he grew, and when it started just coming out, I said we didn't know what it was, but as we found out what it was, and what we did was the hairpiece, and as he grew older, and you know how boys like to play sports or what have you, and he was one who loved to play baseball. And I can remember one time they was at practice, and they was, like I said, they was practicing, and I think a pop ball came in his direction, and I guess he misjudged it, and it crossed his hat, and his hairpiece fell off. And for me, I was just like, wow. I was stunned. And I saw all the other kids looking at him like, he has no hair. He's wearing a wig. And he picked it up and put it back on. Put his hat back on. And then the coach came over to me and said, is he all right? I said, yeah, he's fine. And so he continued to play baseball. And he started doing other things. And, I can hear folks, when he wore his hairpiece, I can hear folks saying, he's got on a wig. He's got on a wig. And that was embarrassing to me to hear somebody say that about your child. And like I said, as he grew and grew older, he decided he didn't want to do it anymore. He didn't want that hairpiece anymore. And after then, folks would look at him like, he's bum-headed. He has no hair. So for the people who don't know what a child or a human or a man or a woman is going through, they shouldn't judge somebody else because of a condition they may have. I was glad when he decided not to wear it anymore, because then folks could see exactly that he had no hair, but it didn't bother him. It did when he was younger, but as he grew, I could see more and more men's with bald heads, and I can hear women say, "Ooh, he got a nice head. I love a man with a bald head." And that just, that for me, that was very good. And that's, like I said, I've seen more and more bald-headed men. And like I said, on my side of the family, there was a cousin who was bald-headed, and my aunt who had this alopecia. But through it all, I think as he's grown up, he's accepted what's happened to him, and he's just moved on. And I think he's one that doesn't care about his head, how it looks. He's just himself. And I thank God for him just turning out the way he has. And for anybody else who don't know him, do not judge him. And that's my feeling about it.
So now that you done heard it from my parents and how I grew up, here's another person that I grew close with, which is my brother Gat, and he's gonna let you know how he saw it from his perspective.
Alright, what's up everybody? This is Marlo, aka Gat. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's good and well. It's Friday and it's a little rainy outside, but I'm coming to you to give a little input on alopecia, which my brother Tonio Da Quiet Storm had as a child and grew up with, and I'm just gonna give a little info on what it was like growing up with my brother and whatnot, and some of the things that he may have went through growing up or whatever. But in the beginning, I mean, as a child, we didn't know what was going on or whatever. As far as him having alopecia and whatnot. But I remember back in the day when we were going to school, elementary school, starting out, growing up with alopecia, he would try to, I guess, hide it, or maybe my parents were trying to hide it or whatnot. But I mean, it was nothing to be ashamed of, but I think the fact of trying to hide it may have made it worse. I don't know, but growing up, he used to wear hats all the time, in which there was nothing wrong with that. But you know how kids are, when he had to take his hat off, kids, picked on him and whatever, maybe called him names or whatever. But I know that, he tried to hide it with his hat, and pretty much it may be embarrassing for him to have to wear a hat all the time, even at one point. And as I look back at it now, that my mom wanted him to wear a wig or whatever, and wearing a wig is nothing wrong with that. And back in the day, I'm not gonna tell our ages or whatnot, but wearing a wig, I mean, it's basically just like a man now wearing a wig or toupee or whatnot. People gonna say stuff and talk about you or whatnot. But I mean, with my brother, I know it was not fun at all in the beginning or whatnot. But as he grew up and went to higher grades in school, whatnot, he got used to it, and it got to the point where he wasn't wearing no wigs, he wasn't wearing no hats or whatever. He was him. He was Antonio, and it was like I said, it was nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just something he had to grow up with or whatever. So after he got used to it or whatnot, I mean, the wigs, hats, that all went away, and pretty much having a bald head or whatever, I mean, nothing wrong with that. And look at Michael Jordan. After Michael Jordan went bald, it seemed like everybody went bald, and nothing wrong with it. So pretty much when he got picked on and whatnot, you know, I had to step in and whatnot as a big brother or whatever. I know it made him mad and uncomfortable at times, but he made it through. He made it through. As a big brother, he knew I had his back or whatever. So it was some hard times, but as time went along, it was better times and good times, whatnot, and it just got to a point where everything was normal and nobody picked on him or whatnot, and called him names or said anything like that. So just growing up, it was hard in the beginning, but through the years it got easy and more, I guess, normalized, you say, I guess. But as the world is now, like I said, a man having a bald head, even women, if you have a bald head, I mean, it's normal. I mean, pretty much a lot of people are cutting their hair off to have a bald head, but I know that times was tough for him and whatever, and I had his back, but we made it through. We made it through, and everything else is, you know, normal now. So I guess I could say for other people or kids or whatever, maybe growing up with this disease or whatever, this alopecia, that it's nothing wrong, it's nothing embarrassing or whatnot. Yeah, people are gonna say and do whatever, but you just know there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Just go on with your life and let people say what they're gonna say. And I mean, they can go in one ear and out the other. So just keep a straight head, and you can make it through just like my brother did. All right.
And I got one more person, but before I get into that, I want to actually, you know, I already defined what alopecia is, but also there are different types of alopecia. And I'm not going to go into all of them, but here's a list of them right here. And you can actually read up on it, Google it, what have you. There's also, there is no treatment for this. So if you lose your hair, I mean, there's no medical defined treatment for this. So there is no real chance of you regrowing your hair. Hate to say, but you know, even though there's cures for everything else, but for us hair loss, I know a lot of people say, hey, you know, there is something out there. They got a Rogaine out here, but it doesn't work for everybody, and it's not really, if they don't have alopecia, then Rogaine will help you, but for alopecia, Rogaine will not help you at all. So just remember that, and if you don't believe me, look it up. But this other person that I have is actually my cousin, but I call him my brother because we always was together. Whenever we got together, we played basketball, played baseball, and what have you together. We fought fought like brothers, and yeah. So let's get into his video right quick.
Good evening. I am James TJ Jr. and I come to you all to talk about Mr. Antonio Maurice Gatlin, better known as Udi. Yeah, I said it. Udi. Well, check it out. Growing up with Mr. Gatlin, he was more like my brother than my cousin. So he was my brother's cousin. We did everything together. We played ball, basketball, baseball. We even had us a little wrestling match. Wrestling ring, that is. Rode go-karts. Played video games. You name it, we did. So growing up back then, everyone knew Mr. Antonio was a little different. Different, but the same, He did what he wanted to do, how he wanted to do it. It's kind of hard to explain, but we found out that he had alopecia, which is no hair. So knowing that, we really didn't try to say too much about it or push the issue or make him feel uncomfortable about not having hair. Matter of fact, we tried to, well, we actually did. We shaved our heads one time. Me and his brother. That ain't last long. But it is what it is. Once Mr. Gatlin really became comfortable knowing that he didn't have hair and he wouldn't grow hair, it kind of freed him from what people thought about, or even how he thought about himself. His confidence grew. And I think it made him a better person once he realized what really that deal was. I think it was about the age of around 12 or 13. And me and Antonio was on the same baseball team. And this accident happened at practice one day. I'm not going to get into the accident, but after this accident happened, he really broke out his shell. And the accident was really for the best. And at this moment, I believe his mom realized it was for the best. Growing up with this, I think his mom really didn't want anyone to tease or look at him any different. But once this happened, the whole mindset changed, and pretty much Mr. Antonio became who he is today. after this one incident, in my eyes, I don't know really what else to say about the whole ordeal, but a lot of people go through different situations, will it be alopecia or anything else that may make you look or feel different. Once you understand why this is, I think it makes everyone stronger in their situation. Mr. Antonio, I love you, boy. I always have, and I'm proud of you. Keep doing you.
Cool. So you heard it from most of my family members that seen me grow up. Just to give you some background on myself, I was a kid. I think I was a happy kid. From the pictures that you can probably see right now, I was a happy kid growing up. But I guess it really started as far as me being kind of a quiet person is when I started going to school. And when I started going to school, even in kindergarten, I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't know what to expect. So, of course, kids, those times and these times, they're gonna try to pick at you. They're gonna find something to pick at you, and that makes you upset. That makes you sad. Makes you want to go get in the corner and sit down and just cry. But hey, I went to elementary school. I wore my hat all the time, and my mom pretty much, as she said, she told the teachers or whatever, even though I'm supposed to not wear a hat, to let them know what was going on with myself. And I pretty much wore that hat all the time until I kind of got comfortable, I guess, not having it on. So, yeah. But after that, I was actually, I guess you could say, kind of thought about them, like, why. I still didn't know what was going on myself. I didn't know why I couldn't grow hair, and it was just bothering me. So, my mom, as you saw, my parents, I wore a hairpiece, from maybe second grade all the way up to 9th grade in high school. And I got picked on every day. Every day I went to school, I got picked on. No matter, me being a nice person or whatever, I still got picked on. There's still somebody that picked on me. And, that kind of made me upset. That kind of made me a little bit angry. Sometimes I might have went home crying, but I never said anything to what happened at school all the time. And the reason I didn't, because I was the type of person, I held everything in. And I didn't tell anybody what was going on until the latter part of my years, especially like maybe middle school, high school, or whatever. That's when I kind of really started talking to like my parents and my older brother. And him being a big brother, he was always wanting to be protective of me. Pretty much if anything said anything to me or whatever, he'll step up, and be like, hey, don't talk to my brother like that. So, he definitely, stuck up for me, and I definitely appreciate that. But then I had to learn on my own, especially in high school. I got tired of getting picked on. I got tired of people picking on me, just looking at me, laughing, or what have you. And for those ones that's been doing the laughing and stuff, hey, look at me now. Look at me now. I'm blessed. I am blessed. And what are you doing now? Some of y'all are down and out. But look at me, I'm being a successful person. I'm blessed. You know, got family that support me. All that. So, joke's on you. But so back to the story. So in high school, you know, after 9th grade year, I just got tired. So I just let it out. I just let it out. I've been like this since 10th grade in high school, you know, in public. You know, at home, I can be myself because I'm around my family. But, you know, I just got tired of trying to be somebody else and instead of being myself. So 10th grade year, you know, hey, it's time for it to come off. It's time for me, you know, to stick up for myself. You know, and after that, you know, people, they kind of lighten up with the picking and stuff, whatever. But I was, hey, at that time, you know, all that anger and stuff and anger that I had inside of myself and keeping stuff to myself, it built up. So I was able to defend myself at that time. And I've been like this ever since. You know, sometimes people had saw me or whatever, you know, after high school or in college or maybe even out, but like, why you look so mean? The reason I was looking so mean is because, you know, I was still, you know, thinking about what was going on with myself. You know, and just, you know, looking at the way people was looking at me and laughing, you know, that kind of just turned that smile into a frown, you know, and I just look at them, you know, I'm like, hey, I wish you would. But hey, I got through it. You can get through it as well. No matter what you're going through, you can get through it as well.
So now that you watched the video, now you got an understanding of, you know, what my graphics and what the Quiet Storm is and who the Quiet Storm is. Because, you know, as a young kid growing up, I was quiet. You know, I stayed to myself, didn't do too much. Got picked, as you see, I got picked on a lot. But, you know, as I got older, I just got tired of it. So, pretty much, you know, hey, I had to defend myself. So, hey, you make me mad, you got consequences coming to you. So that's what a Quiet Storm's all about. You know, quiet kid, didn't bother nobody. But hey, when you start coming to me, start picking on me, start coming at me, hey, you asking for trouble. But that's when the storm is coming.
It's a storm coming. It's a storm coming. It's a storm coming. It's a storm coming. It's a storm coming. It's a storm coming.
That's when the storm is about to rise. So, you know, just like my intro said, it's a storm coming. But yeah, pretty much that's what the Quiet Storm means. That's who Tonio Da Quiet Storm is. So yeah, you know, I'm just blessed to still be here and to be able to talk to you all like this, because back in the day I wouldn't have done this at all. I was afraid to stand in front of people to talk. I was afraid, you know, just to be in front of people, period. You know, I didn't like it. But hey, now, you know, I kind of embraced it, and it's working out for me. So I'm kind of glad that I'm, you know, able to share this story with you all, and hopefully this will be a inspiration for some of you all out there as well that's been through the same thing, growing up or even now, you know, because bullying is all the time, which shouldn't be. But make sure you stick up for yourself. Not saying you gotta fight, but you know, use your head and pick your battles. Sometimes you don't have to even fight. You know, God fights for you. So hey, you don't have to lift a finger. Just let God fight for you. So that's all you gotta do. So most of the time, that's what I'm doing now. I'm just picking my battles and letting God fight for me. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little lengthy, but apologize for that. Sorry, not sorry. because it's telling you my story of, who Tonio Da Quiet Storm is. But I definitely appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this channel. If you're watching this video and you ain't subscribed to this channel, then what you waiting on? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, post notification bell so you can know when I drop these videos on you. And support your boy, man. Support is free. So you support me, I support you, and we all go up in 2023, as it should be, and go beyond 2023 as well. So support can take you a long way. But once again, appreciate you tuning in, appreciate you watching. God made all things possible. Nothing's impossible as long as you have faith, trust, believe in Him, believe in yourself, trust yourself, have faith in yourself, because you can do anything that put your mind to. So, on that note, I'll holler at y'all to the next video.